morning, good afternoon and good evening. It's Lee from Magnetic North Adventures. Hope you're all doing well. To my subscribers, new, old, those people just visiting, you're all very welcome. Today's adventure is going to be another part of the Ancient Forts, Roman and Iron Age Structures series. I'm going to be joined with Damien. He's around somewhere, we'll catch him in a moment, but we're going to go to a promontory hill fort, and that was a small fort on an adjacent bit of land. And there's Damien, he's just caught up with us. Good morning, mate.
Good morning. Right,
So there we go. So you know, when Damien's here, we're always going on a Roman tour. So we're going to look at the promontory fort. As I say, it's a small piece of high land which was easily defended. There's evidence of 3 ramparts in there, and there's ditches, and we're at a site called Markland Grips, Clown, Derbyshire. Now again, it is a scheduled monument, so I'm not sure how much we can see or where we can actually get to, because it does look like it's on private farmland. But if I can show you from the footpath at the bottom, I will do. There have been excavations that have found Iron Age and Roman finds, mostly pottery, some Roman coins, and it's said that many years ago a Roman silver coin hoard and a gold ring was found many years ago. So it shows the importance of the land around this area. And more recently there's been studies with a platform that's been found in an adjacent field, and it's said that a Roman siege machine may have stood on that site. If it wasn't, it was an extended enclosure, so who really knows what happened? It's too long ago, but we're here to try and find out. Hope you enjoy the adventure. Back with you soon. So we're at the top. This field here is a few earthworks over that way, just over there. But this is said that this is part of this settlement area. This is where you'd have had grain stores, storage huts, round houses in wood, and maybe even a few stone ones. And you'd have had cattle pens, things like that. And as you can see, we're on higher ground, so that's where we are. Any surviving features are all going to be wood below ground or destroyed, but we're on site. So just here, just off the footpath, we've got a very large drop down there. This land you see at the side is the very edge of the promontory fort, and it would be vertical walls all the way up, making it near impossible to get up here. So this is definitely why this site was picked. It's a natural defended platform. So we've got up to the top near the end, and we've just found this feature here which cuts through and all the way down. So we were just up at the top up there, so you can see the height of the actual fort. You've got big stone trees growing on top of it, and that's a very steep climb down to the bottom there. But this would have been one of your potential access routes, escape routes from the fortress, or for people living up here at the time. You can see that is very steep, and when this is wet ground, this would be near impossible to get up. But you've got all natural stone there as well, so this area is being carved through that area. So I'm on the outer extreme edge of the fort area, and if I pan down you can see from this tree just how high up we really are, and it still goes another 15-20 meters below the canopy. So yeah, they would have had this area naturally defended from other tribes in the area. Your animals would have been kept in this very field. Your people worked here, your blacksmiths, your grain stores, they were all here. You've had a modern railway cut at the side there with the stone wall. But this here, this very footpath, would be the guarded boundary, and this would have had regular sentries walking around, especially when the Romans arrived in the 1st century. And it's said that the Romans reoccupied this land up until the 3rd century, so around about 250, 260 AD. So this would have been Roman storage, farms, and a defended site for a very wealthy estate. Just to have this natural promontory and to hold this land, that's something of worth. And again, in times of rebellion, you would not want to let this land fall back to the native population or to invading armies. The invading armies at the time would have come from mercenaries from Germany and from the old world of Persia, Syria, Iran, Iraq sort of area, and that's where the archers came from, specialists. Now just down there you've got a stream right at the bottom, folks. Very interesting stream. That's all I'm going to say on that one. So we've got again the trees on the rocks and going up onto the settlement up that way. And down here I found a place that takes you to where the watercourse were. A moment with nature. We've got sandy soil, and this is the natural watercourse, the only water in the area that they'd have drank from. They'd have washed here, had the clothes washed, took water up for the fires. Let's have a listen to how nice that sounds. Beautiful. Now I'm just having a look at this level. There's natural bedrock. So just at the bottom of the fortification you can see just how steep that would be. Almost impossible to get up that. So if you're up at the top and you're down here, that's what you've got to scale to get up to the top. You would not want to do that even in armour. So you can see why it's naturally defended. Damien's over there, and you can see from Damien's height, he's around 6 foot tall, just how high this settlement is. So there's two settlements, there's Markland grips and Hollins grips, and then you've got the tree which I pointed out earlier. I'm at the bottom of the canopy level now. But yeah, this is an impressive site. Right then folks, just a short visit, walk around, showing you what we could see. That's another one of the Roman tours done, the Iron Age tours. Right then folks, we've come to a town called Worksop, and I'm going to show you a medieval Priory and some lovely gardens, and then we're going to have a walk and have a look in the museum. Now the Priory is from the medieval times, as I say, pre-1300, so I'll show you that and I'll put some information on later. So this is the approach to Worksop Priory. It's a beautiful building, all hand carved stone. Just at the bottom of Memorial Avenue, where the war memorials are. And this is St Hilda and St Wilfrid is the church. There we go. So this is standing in front, and I've got to show you these. Beautiful carved doors. So this is another of the main entrances. The carved doors, the ironwork, the beautiful carvings around the archway. Then you've got these columns, and you've got just there the old stone faces. And it's so intricate. You've got the carved floral mounts as well. This is very old iron on the doors. And then the riveted studs there as well. It has taken a bit of acid rain damage, but it's still beautiful. So Worksop Priory and Gatehouse, Augustine Priory of St Mary and St Cuthbert, founded around 1120 by William de Lovetoft, Lord of Worksop Manor. Monastery grew in strength and influence until the 16th century, when King Henry VIII ordered the dissolution of the monasteries, and most of it was completely destroyed. However, Worksop was more fortunate than most, and some of the monastery survives as part of the parish church. Norman features seen around the arch of the west door and into the 1250s. Around this door have been carved Jerusalem crosses, a symbol of the Crusaders who went to fight with King Richard in the Holy Land. The gatehouse, just down there, around 1330 AD, from King Edward III's time, who visited this very priory. So there was actually a king come to this site. And the upper story is a small room with an elegant vaulted ceiling, and the room was used as a school. So this is the approach to the gatehouse, and you've got the stairway going up the side. That room and that top room, that's where the school used to be in the 16, 17, 1800s. And we'll show you what it looks like. So again, you've got carved pillows. Now if this was pulled down in a field, you just wouldn't tell, it's just natural stone. But these are medieval bricks, just there, and again they're carved out of stone, and you've got the very thin tile like ones in between. That is classic medieval structure, 1300s. And this is sealed off to protect it, but what we can do is we can do this to show you inside. So again, you've got the old stoneware, you've got the cobbled floors, and then you've got the room to the side there that would have gone upstairs, and Nice elegant ceiling there. Original woodwork with wooden bosses on the bottom. Beautiful. Now the gatehouse is a lot bigger than it actually looks, because this is all part of the gatehouse. All here. You can see here where there's been another building, and there's been another archway here, and that would have been a bricked up window. But this is the bit that the king would have seen, King Edward III. You've got the medieval statue up here, just there, and the lovely carvings there. So this is medieval, and this would have gone again into the other room. This is the back, and this is here, worksop market cross. So this would have been a meeting place. This is the front. You've got the king statue right at the top and the cross. You've got the remains of very, very acid etched statues now mostly worn away. And you've got that relief up there as well. And then just around the side here, more statues would have stood there. They've since been fallen, destroyed. Another entrance, and then here you had another statue which has also gone. That's where the gatehouse is. We'll show you the actual priory as well. So this is the church and where the priory used to be. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. Unfortunately, it is locked and closed today, so I can't show you inside. But it's full of stained glass windows. That's it in all its glory. It's amazing. And it's guaranteed that there would have been English Civil War actions in this area. And then you've got the old cemetery at the back here. Now, a lot of this area here was also graveyard, but they've moved to the side here. Now, there's one I wanted to show you folks, which is really interesting. This one here. Joseph Carside Pearson died January 18th, 1892, age 31. Now it's said that because there is cricket bats on that, he was actually a cricket player. So that's quite important for the area. And then over here, you've got a local stone grave, thick stone, and this one's 1853. And this one is very interesting. He had the honour of serving as brewer and baker to His Grace the Duke of Newcastle at Clumber, and died aged 32. So he was working for a lot of important people. And then you've got more all the way down there. The graveyard in general, most of these are going to be pre-1960. It's something that's nice to walk around. I'll show you one grave over there because there's a crane angel over there. I'll go and show you that one. Now this is an unusual one because it's such a big stone, and it's just got name Francis Hurtley 1857 and Henry Hayes of 1861. No further details. So I bet they've got a story about them. And then you've got the church at the back here. Beautiful stone carved cross, beautiful medieval architecture, just there, wonderful. So this one is a grave to various people. William Allen, 1876, Albert Woodbert. There's a lot of names on this one. 1876, 1907, 1913, 1924. It's the Allen family. Now, it's important because they've still got the iron surrounds. They would have normally been taken for the war effort, but they wasn't. What we've actually got is the Crying Angel. This is part of the original Priory Abbey as well, and this is what the king would have been seeing. So this is the grandeur of what was left. It would have been a lot bigger, but this is the bit what survived. You've got this grave here with a sword-like cross on it. Don't know the details. And again, the grand arches, the very old Victorian 1800s drain pipes, and back to the towers. These are original fragments of stone from the original pillars that actually held the church up inside. There we go. You've got this lovely embossing around, and again you've got floral decorations. So here you've got a stone coffin that's been broken. More remains of stone coffins just there. Beautiful carvings. As I say, some of this was done for the Crusades, so it marks that. And a nice window there. And then just here you've got a final piece of the actual wall and some more carved stonework just there. So this is part of the original bit that you'd been inside Priory. And then you've got the carved stone blocks and the towers. So nice. So I'm 6'2", and you can see the height of this doorway. People was a lot shorter in them days, and this one, if I go straight forward, I could not walk through this. So you'd have to be around 5 feet tall to go through that without hitting your head or bending to get through the door. That would have had a big oak door on there, and that's where it opened and closed. Got more remains of medieval stonework there, and that's the doorway that I've just come through. Beautiful doorway again, just there. And profile up the side of the church. There we go, all the way up. This is the main gate, the main door to the priory, and these bits here, the stoneware, was added during the Crusade era. Amazing. So this is a bit of the gardens area leading down from the priory towards where the war memorials are and towards where the library is. Absolutely beautiful colours, beautiful flowers, So I just thought I'd share this with you, just so you can see exactly what I'm seeing. How amazing is all that? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. And until the next time, on this very sunny warm day, this is Lee at Magnetic North Adventures. Bye for now.
See you later.
Damien says see you as well, folks. Bye.
Magnetic North Adventures, where the treasure calls our name. Through the forests and the waters, we'll never be the same. With every find we're cleaning, leaving nothing but the earth. Magnetic North Adventures, discovering our world.